You think you know Underworld? Well, here's some things you may not have known about the vampire action series.
The war itself had become more perilous. The weapons had evolved. But our orders remained the same. Hunt them down and kill them off, one by one.
When writing the script for the first Underworld film, director Len Wiseman realized that there was far too much story to fit in one film. Rather than attempt to cut content to get everything within 2 hours, he decided to merely take portions from the full story, turn it into films over time, provided the first film, Underworld, did well. Moving on to the second film, Underworld Evolution, was much easier, though things had to be tweaked here and there to align with what audiences liked and disliked from the first film. Kate Beckinsale, who plays the main character Celine, speaks very highly of the films, explaining it was the story that drew her to audition and later accept the role. Quote, "There has to be a story that keeps you interested, and I really do think it's an interesting story, and an interesting relationship, and really cool characters, and it's shot beautifully. I think it's a real opportunity to go into a different world."
The vampires will kill you on sight, just for being what you are. One of us. You are one of us.
Overall, the total budget for the first 4 Underworld films is $177 million, whereas the total worldwide gross of the films is over $450 million. Even though critically the series has been panned for being emotionally shallow, it seems audiences disagree. Underworld Rise of the Lycans saw the number of visual effects shots more than double from the first film. It took 10 facilities to complete the fortress assault sequence in the third film and had to be completed in less than 3 months. Originally, Kate Beckinsale did not intend to return for Underworld Awakening, the 4th film in the series. She thought the story ended in the trilogy and she had no real interest in reprising her role until Wiseman told her his idea for the 4th film, which she found herself very interested in and decided to return. In Underworld Awakening, Celine discovers she has a teenage daughter. When casting for the role, Wiseman had discovered who he thought would be perfect and was excited to show Beckinsale her audition tape. On the same day Beckinsale was to see the tape, she was browsing Barnes & Noble with her actual daughter and saw a young woman who bore a striking resemblance to her. Turns out that girl was India Isley, the very same girl that Wiseman already had in mind for the role of Celine's daughter.
Do you not know who I am? They told me that I had no mother, that she died when I was born. I never believed it. I felt to you.
Originally, Kate Beckinsale wasn't terribly keen on getting trained on how to fight for the film. She admits even after 4 films, quote, "I am still as much a wuss as I ever was." Despite this, she took to gun handling immediately during the first film, expressing her relief when she was finally trained on guns. Quote, "I was so relieved I got a hold of a gun. I was suddenly like, I found my thing. I think it's really only because I have enormous hands." Scott Speedman, who plays Michael Corvin, had a sex scene with Beckinsale in Underworld Evolution. He cites the whole scene as being terribly awkward because director Wiseman and Beckinsale are married. Quote, "I'll tell the truth, it was terrible. It was awkward," he admitted in 2006. Quote, "I was really nervous. They were much more relaxed and Wiseman, I don't know how, but he was alright with it. He fired me after the first take, which was funny. After a while you kind of got into it, and it was okay." Underworld Blood Wars, the 5th installment in the film series, is the first to be directed by a woman. Anna Forrester, former visual effects artist, is making her directorial debut with the film. Her prior works include being a part of the second unit on such films as Alien Resurrection and The Day After Tomorrow, as well as working on visual effects for 1998's Godzilla. Prior to Blood Wars, Forrester had directed numerous episodes of Criminal Minds, as well as 4 episodes of Outlander. And here's a bonus one. Wiseman is planning to create an Underworld television series, citing how good of a fit it is for television. Quote, "There's been a lot of conversations and development on what the series would be. It's really appropriate for television in terms of how those characters can really tie in, but it's also becoming something new. It's a really attractive space," Wiseman said in early 2016. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Movies. Make sure to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and get the latest movie and TV news on ScreenCrush.com.